Have you ever stood in front of your medicine cabinet, eyes drawn to rows of colorful bottles promising vitality, strength, or restful sleep, and wondered if they're truly helping you or quietly holding you back? As the sun's first rays warm your kitchen window, you deserve clarity more than confusion, peace more than panic. In today's video, you'll learn about 5 supplements that, while once thought helpful, can actually undermine your health after 65. By the end, you'll feel empowered to clear away what no longer serves you and embrace gentle, nourishing alternatives that honor your strength, wisdom, and the journey ahead. High-dose vitamin E supplements. It's easy to believe that popping a handful of bright vitamin E capsules each morning is a gentle way to shield your cells from the march of time. But too much of even a good nutrient can quietly upset your balance. As you cross into your mid-60s and beyond, your body's chemistry becomes more particular about how much of each vitamin it needs. High-dose vitamin E supplements, often sold in doses far exceeding your daily requirements, can interfere with normal clotting processes, leading to unexpected bruising or prolonged bleeding that can shadow even the simplest tasks, like trimming a sprig from your garden. Imagine the soft hush of dawn spilling into a small cottage kitchen, where Mrs. Jansen, an avid birdwatcher, reaches for her daily vitamin E capsules alongside her morning tea. She'd read in a glossy magazine how antioxidants fight free radicals, and she'd taken that to mean more is better. Yet within weeks, each small scrape from pulling stubborn weeds left a purple smudge on her skin that lingered for days. Even a paper cut from opening her mail refused to seal, reminding her that her blood was taking its time to clot. During a routine checkup, her physician gently explained that excessive supplemental vitamin E can prevent platelets from doing their job, increasing bleeding risks that can complicate minor injuries. Maybe you've noticed similar signs yourself: a sudden tendency to bruise, a nosebleed after reaching to dust a high shelf, or gums that ooze after flossing. It might help to pause and consider where else you could be getting vitamin E naturally, from foods that come pre-balanced with other nutrients. Think of the golden halo of olive oil drizzled over steamed kale, or the deep, earthy crunch of toasted sunflower seeds scattered atop a bowl of oatmeal. Each of these food sources provides vitamin E within a nutrient-rich context, where fiber, healthy fats, and minerals work in concert to support your heart, skin, and overall well-being. Picture this: you pour a small stream of extra virgin olive oil over a plate of gently roasted sweet potatoes, their edges caramelized and fragrant. You sprinkle on a handful of pumpkin seeds, easy to chew and full of warmth, and finish with a whisper of sea salt. As you lean over your plate, the aromas rise like a soft melody, and you feel the harmonious blend of flavors settle into your body. In that moment, you're not relying on isolated pills. You're embracing a ritual that nourishes every part of you, from your senses to your cells. Consider also adding a handful of raw almonds to your afternoon snack. Paired with a piece of fruit, they become a satisfying mini-meal that brings vitamin E alongside protein and fiber. Maybe you'll spread a thin layer of almond butter on whole grain toast one morning, then top it with sliced banana and a dusting of cinnamon, turning breakfast into a gentle celebration of texture and taste. By choosing whole food sources over high-dose supplements, you honor the wisdom built into your body over decades of living, learning, and adapting. You remind yourself that true nourishment comes from harmony, not excess. And you set the tone for each day with simple, mindful choices. A warm reminder that small acts of self-care can blossom into lasting strength and resilience. Excess calcium supplements. Calcium is often viewed as the cornerstone of bone health, leading many to up their daily intake with oversized supplements. But too much calcium in isolation can deposit in places you don't want it, such as blood vessel walls or soft tissues. After 65, your body's capacity to shuttle minerals precisely where they're needed shifts, and isolated pills can cause more misdirection than fortification. Excess supplemental calcium has been linked to a higher risk of cardiovascular events and kidney stones, especially when other supportive nutrients like magnesium and vitamin K are missing from the mix. Envision Mr. Alvarez, a retired schoolteacher with a fondness for crossword puzzles, faithfully taking 2 large calcium tablets after breakfast. He pictured himself building an invisible scaffold inside his bones, fortifying his frame against fractures. Yet over time, he began to notice a gentle tightness in his chest while on his daily stroll, and minor discomfort that he mistook for indigestion. A follow-up with his doctor revealed tiny calcium deposits beginning to line his coronary arteries, markers of early calcification that grow more concerning with age. Perhaps you've experienced a similar twinge, an uncomfortable squeeze in your chest after bending to tie your shoe, or a stiffness in your fingers that makes opening a jar feel like an unfamiliar chore. It might help to shift from pills to plates, focusing on foods where calcium arrives hand in hand with magnesium, vitamin K, and phosphorus, partners that guide calcium to your bones rather than your bloodstream. Picture a colorful salad plated with steamed collard greens, fresh orange segments, and slivered almonds, all drizzled with a tangy vinaigrette. The vibrancy of the colors alone can lift your spirits, while the calcium in the greens and almonds pairs with the vitamin C in the oranges to enhance absorption naturally. Consider also savoring a bowl of yogurt mixed with a spoonful of chia seeds, allowing the seeds to swell overnight in the cool hush of your refrigerator. In the morning, you uncover a velvety pudding that delights your palate and your bones. As you spoon it into your mouth, notice the subtle pop of chia, the gentle tang of cultured milk, and the overall sense of ease that comes from eating food that respects your body's innate wisdom. For a heartwarming main course, roast a fillet of salmon, naturally rich in both calcium and vitamin D, with rosemary and lemon. Serve it alongside a peppery arugula salad sprinkled with sunflower seeds. You're not only dining on flavors that dance on your tongue, you're encouraging your body to use minerals in a balanced way, reducing the risk of unwanted deposits. By embracing dietary sources of calcium in their natural context, you reinforce the architecture of your skeleton and protect the pathways of your cardiovascular system. You invest in meals that feel like gentle celebrations of taste, texture, and color. Rituals that honor the years of wisdom etched into your bones and the quiet strength that sustains you each day. Iron supplements, without testing. Many seniors assume that occasional fatigue or paleness must mean low iron, prompting them to reach for iron tablets. But without confirming a true deficiency, extra iron can accumulate in organs and joints, leading to oxidative stress and digestive discomfort. After 65, your body's ability to regulate iron absorption changes, and unneeded supplements can burden your liver, heart, and gut rather than energizing you. Think of Mrs. Chang, who brewed a hot cup of tea each morning and mindlessly swallowed an iron pill before settling into her favorite armchair with a novel. She'd once felt a faint glow of vitality after taking iron in her younger years and assumed her tiredness meant she needed more now. Yet, within days, she experienced constipation so stubborn that she felt chained to her home, and abdominal bloating that dulled her appetite and her mood. A simple blood test revealed that her iron levels were already within normal range. Excess iron had no place to go, so it lodged where it could, stirring discomfort rather than relief. Maybe you've noticed a similar heaviness in your gut, or bouts of heartburn that flare after supplementing. It might help to pause before you reach for another pill, and instead schedule a basic ferritin test to see if your iron stores are truly low. If the results show a genuine deficiency, a doctor may recommend a lower dosage taken with vitamin C to ease absorption and reduce gastric side effects. But if your levels are fine, you can turn to iron-rich foods that deliver the mineral alongside gentle cofactors. Imagine a steaming bowl of lentil stew, its broth seasoned with garlic, turmeric, and a sprig of rosemary. Each spoonful feels like a warm embrace, and the lentils release iron slowly, wrapped in protein and fiber that guide it where it's needed. Or consider a salad of dark spinach leaves and sliced strawberries. Iron from the greens meets vitamin C from the fruit, creating a synergy that enhances uptake without overwhelming your system. You might also roast a handful of chickpeas, tossed with cumin and paprika, then sprinkle them over a bed of shredded kale. The spices awaken your senses, and the crunch brings a playful joy to your plate. As you taste that dish, you feel the subtle lift of energy, not the heavy drag of unnecessary supplementation. By choosing food first and testing before trusting, you honor your body's expert regulation of nutrients, built up over decades of digestion, absorption, and renewal. You transform each meal into an act of mindful nourishment, listening to your signals and feeding yourself exactly what you need. In doing so, you affirm that true strength arises from harmony, the gentle dance between science, self-care, and the wisdom your life has earned. St. John's Wort and Herbal Blends. Herbal supplements like St. John's Wort may feel like a gentle nod to nature's healing power, yet they can harbor unexpected risks for a body thriving beyond 65. You might delight in the idea of sipping a golden cup of herbal tea, the steam curling around your fingers like a soft embrace. But even well-meaning botanicals can interact with medications you depend on, altering their effects and leaving you feeling unsteady or uncertain. Picture Mrs. Thompson, who began her day by steeping a sachet of St. John's Wort in hot water, entranced by the liquid's honeyed hue and the faint scent of wildflowers. She cradled that cup against her chest, believing she was soothing her mood. Yet over a few weeks, her warfarin dose needed constant tweaking, and she noticed bruises emerging along her arms after the gentlest bump. It turned out that this seemingly harmless herb was speeding up her metabolism, causing her blood thinner to wear off too quickly. Maybe you've experienced a similar unease, midday fatigue that arrives unexpectedly, or a flicker of dizziness after adding a new herbal blend to your routine. It might help to keep a simple journal. Note what you're taking, when you drink it, and how your body responds afterward. Consider making a habit of checking in with a pharmacist or healthcare provider before introducing any new herbals, especially those marketed as all-natural or side-effect-free. By doing so, you honor your body's decades of accumulated wisdom and avoid the surprise of altered medication levels. If you still crave the comfort of a warm, fragrant beverage, you might explore gentler botanicals with well-known safety profiles. Imagine filling your favorite teapot with chamomile blossoms, their tiny petals floating like dandelion fluff on golden water. Inhale as the aroma drifts to your nose, the delicate hint of apple sweetness mingling with a downy floral note. As you sip that soothing infusion, you gift yourself a moment of calm without risking unwanted interactions. Or perhaps you'll reach for a slice of fresh ginger, thinly peeled and steeped, its spicy warmth spreading through your chest like sunshine after a spring rain. This simple ritual can ease digestion, lift your spirits, and remind you of nature's gentleness. You may even invite community connection into this practice. Host a small tea-tasting afternoon with neighbors or friends, each bringing a different non-interacting herbal blend: lavender for relaxation, rooibos for antioxidants, or peppermint for soothing digestion. As laughter and conversation fill the room, you'll taste the subtle differences between each cup, discovering which aromas and flavors resonate most with your heart and body. In these moments, you reinforce the understanding that self-care can be both a nourishing ritual and a joyful social experience. Above all, remember that nature's gifts are best received with mindfulness and respect. When you choose to steep herbs in water, do so with the intention of listening to your body's signals, to your doctor's advice, and to the gentle rhythms of each passing season. By approaching herbal supplements with curiosity rather than assumption, you safeguard your health and strengthen your sense of empowerment. And in that awareness, you discover that sometimes the simplest cup of tea can be the richest act of self-kindness. High-dose omega-3 fish oil supplements. Those glossy bottles of fish oil capsules promise to fortify your heart, yet high doses can quietly tip the balance toward bleeding risks you didn't anticipate. You've likely heard that omega-3 fatty acids help maintain healthy cholesterol levels and keep joints supple. Benefits you'd love to enjoy as you tend your garden or stroll along sunlit paths. But when fish oil is taken in excess, it can interact with blood-thinning medications or even cause minor nosebleeds and bruising that take days to fade. Picture Mr. Patel, who faithfully placed 2 large capsules on his breakfast plate each morning, then washed them down with a sip of cool water. The lemony scent of the oil lingered, reminding him of seaside picnics from years past. Yet he soon began waking to tiny nosebleeds, and mysterious purple patches appeared on his arms after the gentlest brushing against a doorframe. Perhaps you've noticed similar whispers from your body, a stray bruise after unpacking groceries, or a tingle of concern when you see dried blood in your tissue. It might help to shift from pills to plates, bringing omega-3s into your diet through colorful, whole food meals that release these beneficial fats in harmony with other nutrients. Consider baking a tender fillet of salmon, its oil-rich flesh glistening with a brush of olive oil, lemon zest, and a scattering of fresh dill. As it roasts, the kitchen fills with a warm, toasty aroma that feels like an embrace. Plate it alongside steamed asparagus and a handful of roasted walnuts for a meal that whispers of heart-healthy nourishment without the risk of excess. If fish isn't your daily preference, think of other culinary treasures. Sardines on whole-grain toast, their salty richness balanced by sliced tomato and a drizzle of caper-infused olive oil. Or blend ground flaxseed into a creamy berry smoothie. Watch the pale seed swirl into ruby liquid, then pour it into a tall glass and inhale the sweet tart fragrance before taking a mindful sip. These plant-based sources of omega-3s deliver benefits more slowly, honoring your system's desire for gentle balance. You might also explore community cooking as a way to deepen your relationship with food. Invite a neighbor to share a meal of roasted mackerel, finger foods rich in natural oils, or a potluck of dishes featuring chia seeds and hemp hearts. As you pass plates around a sunlit table, laughter and shared memories become the seasoning, reminding you that nourishment extends far beyond the plate. By replacing high-dose fish oil capsules with diverse whole food sources, you give your body a canvas of flavors, textures, and aromas that celebrate both health and joy. Each bite reconnects you with the Earth's bounty, vibrant greens, gleaming fish scales, and the satisfying crunch of seeds. And as you savor these meals, you affirm your power to choose balance over excess, creativity over routine, and community over isolation. In choosing mindful, food-first sources of omega-3, you step into a rhythm of natural well-being, one where each sunrise brings a chance to nourish your heart, your joints, and your spirit. And in that rhythm, you find the gentle rhythm of your own wisdom guiding you forward. As you close your kitchen window on this gentle exploration, remember that each supplement you choose is a step toward honoring your body's needs and your life's wisdom. You've learned to look beyond glossy labels, to test before trusting, and to weave nourishing alternatives into your mornings, rituals that support your heart, your spirit, and your independence. Your strength shines in these small, mindful choices, painting each day with possibility and purpose. If this video encourages you, please share your thoughts below, connect with others who walk this path, and subscribe for more nurturing guidance. Above all, know that your journey is still unfolding, and every sunrise offers a chance to thrive naturally.